Hi, welcome to the next episode of my podcast, Frames of Life. My name is Anna, and I am a maternity, newborn, and family photographer, the owner of Aimeè UK Photography. Because the podcasting journey is just the very recent journey, please hit subscribe button and support me. Thank you so much to Nationwide Renewables for providing this beautiful podcast room. Really appreciate your help, guys. Thank you. Our mental health isn't a luxury, it's the foundation that supports everything else in our life. Without it, our achievements feel hollow, relationships lose their warmth, and even the most beautiful moments in our life pass by unappreciated. If you are prioritizing your mental well-being, you are not just investing in yourself, but you are strengthening capacity of showing up fully for everything and everyone that matters to you. I know firsthand that physical activity completely changed my life. Lifting weights didn't just build my body, but it really built my mental strength. The gym became a safe place, like a second home. We all need to realize that working out isn't about looking good. It's a very powerful medicine for our mind. The discipline, the sweat, the small victories, they all rebuild our spirit day by day. If you are struggling, you need to start moving your body, because the strength you find, it may really save you, just like it saved many of us. Today's guest is Aimeè Easton, online fat loss and glute coach. Hi, Aimeè.
Hi.
I am so happy to have you here today.
Thank
Very
you.
excited.
Thank you for having me.
Can you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do?
Yeah, so obviously, like you said, I'm an online fat loss and glute coach. I have been doing it for about 4 or 5 years now. I do face-to-face PT as well. And I just mainly help women that are working in 9 to 5s, work around, their lifestyle, their current lifestyle. Obviously, it's very busy, and they're obviously wanting to, look good, feel good for summer, or just look good, feel good in general. And I just help them lose a minimum of 5 to 10 kg body fat and help them grow the glutes whilst balancing the current lifestyle. So yeah, that's what I do.
Thank you. What first drew you to specialize in fat loss and glute training specifically?
Yeah, so originally I was into a lot of sports as a younger kid. I would do a lot of running. That's what I specialised in beforehand. And then I kind of got a bit bored of it. So I then decided to take up weight training when I was at uni, mainly because I was in my first year. I wasn't really living with people that I got along with, so I was a bit lonely, and I was like, where can I find, fill my time? So I went to the gym down the road and just pushed myself out of my comfort zone, started doing some weight training. And obviously, as a female, everybody wants a nice peachy bum.
Which you definitely have, but we will talk about this later.
Yeah.
Very specifically in details.
Yeah. So yeah, that's when I started doing a lot of glute training, smashing the glutes, neglecting a bit of the upper body, I won't lie, but then later down the line I started doing more upper body. And then with the fat loss, obviously, like I mentioned, I used to do a lot of running, so I could literally get away with eating whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. So as I got a bit older, that's when I started to put a little bit of weight on. I still am in a comfortable relationship, so you kind of let things slip a little bit. And then I realised, okay, I need to actually look after my nutrition. And that's why, I do focus a lot with my clients, because nutrition is so important as well as the gym.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
So yeah.
How can fitness, because this is like, the part I love absolutely about fitness in general and being physically active, how can fitness contribute to better mental health, and what role endorphins play in boosting our mood?
In terms of the endorphins, it helps release dopamine, which is obviously like the happy hormone, and that helps reduce anxiety, reduce stress, makes you feel way more relaxed. And that's more common in like steady state exercises, like aerobic exercises, running, hiking or swimming. you tend to notice the endorphins more with that than the resistance training. But yeah, that's how the endorphins work. And, you know, it does really help with your mental health, because as you've been to the gym, you know, for a long time, you know how you feel afterwards. Yeah, okay, you might be really dragging yourself to the gym and you can't be bothered, but as soon as you do that workout, you never regret it, do you?
Absolutely,
Like,
absolutely.
never regret a workout. So
Yeah.
I know sometimes it's a bit challenging with a lot of things going on at home or whatever, but as soon as you get that workout done, you just feel so much better.
And you know, even at some point in my life, because I've got underactive thyroid, so I completely felt exhausted.
Yeah.
But even though I was very tired, I was pushing myself. I'm like, okay, no, I need to go to the gym, yes, because I will feel absolutely crap.
Yeah.
Not only physically, but mentally as well. You know, like having kids, you know, a busy work schedule. And every time, even before going to the gym, I was falling asleep. I pushed myself. I went. After 10, 15 minutes, seriously, the heat kind of like, you know, it's spreading through your body. And yeah, as you say, I never regret it. Yeah.
Yeah, and when you're in the gym as well, like that's all that you're focusing on. You're only focusing on your workout. You're not worrying about what's gone on at work or what you've got to do later when you get home. That's all you're focusing on. And sometimes that's really good, because, you know, when you're in day-to-day life, you've got a million things going through your mind, and that's why you get stressed. So when you're in the gym, that's all you're focusing on. Or, you know, you don't have to be in the gym. You can be outside or whatever you do, exercise-wise.
Yeah, thank you. Amy, do you think women struggle nowadays with getting into fitness and health in general? And if yes, what are the common struggles?
Definitely time. Time is a big struggle at the moment, because everyone's so busy nowadays. You ain't got a spare minute. And then confidence, definitely for females. I notice that a lot of the time when I'm having consultations with my clients. That is one big thing, you know, they're a bit worried about going into the free weights area, and that's the area that they need to be in to grow the glutes. And they don't know how to set up the exercises, and they're just worried that people might be looking at them. So yeah, that's definitely another one. And then just motivation as well, like generally all around motivation to get to the gym, because I find that a lot of my clients are scrolling through social media nowadays, looking at what's the best exercise to do for your glute growth, and they're seeing so many like contradicting things. They get a bit drained, and then they're just like not motivated to go to the gym because they don't even know whether it's going to work or not. Yeah, I would definitely say those are the three things that are a massive struggle for females getting into fitness at the moment.
I do agree with that as well, the confidence especially, but we have some questions covering this bit as well. What specific fitness challenges do women face compared to men, and how women can address actually these differences in their training?
So one big thing is obviously our hormones. We have a menstrual cycle, so that can really affect our training. A few days ago, I was at the gym, and a bit TMI, but it's that time of the month, and I was just like really not motivated, feeling so weak in the gym, not being able to lift what I can, and it's demotivating, but you know that these are the sessions that count. So a way around this is kind of probably tracking your flow. I use the flow app, so tracking the menstrual cycle, and then you can kind of understand what phase you're in of your cycle. Okay, I'm feeling a bit more bloated today. Well, that's the reason why, because I'm coming up to ovulation or whatever. And, you know, at that time you might feel a bit stronger, to be fair, when you're doing your weight training. But it's good to kind of track it, so then you can put your mind at ease then. Okay, maybe that's why I'm feeling a little bit weaker today. And just also going maybe a little bit lighter in your sessions if you do feel a bit demotivated around that time of the month. And then just doing a workout that you actually enjoy. If you know you've got a routine that you really can't be bothered with that day because you're feeling a bit hormonal or whatever, you can just go into the gym and just do something small. Something small is better than nothing at all. Also, body image, I find, you know, men can struggle with that as well, but females especially, I feel like there's a lot of pressure on us females to, you know, have that maybe a curved figure. You know, a lot of clients say to me all the time, "Oh, I want to get rid of my hip dips," and we just can't get you can't. This is how we are built. We can't get rid of hip dips unless you're doing something, you know, like aesthetically, you know, injecting things like that, which we don't want.
We are constantly bombarded with photos before and after on social media, which is, I think, very damaging, especially for young women and teenagers. How would you recommend women approach their body image?
It is a difficult one because social media is going to be there all the time. And people are getting really clever now with how they edit photos and things. I would say the best approach is, if you know that it's really getting you down, then to unfollow these pages that are quite triggering.
Yeah.
And also for me, it's quite easy to understand where these posts can be quite triggering, because they'll post like a transformation of 8 weeks and they've lost like such a dramatic amount of weight. But I know in reality they've probably had a really restrictive diet. But to other people, they might see that and be like, well, why aren't I getting that result? But that's just because it's probably not been a realistic routine, and it's been quite overly restrictive. So it's just trying to like build your knowledge around that sort of stuff and understand that social media is fake and everybody only posts the good things, they don't post the bad things. So yeah, definitely unfollow those pages that are not serving you.
Busy women, how would you advise women who are juggling family life, their careers, who would like to go into fitness and they have some goals? How can they create sustainable habits without burning out? I'm asking because I've been there, and day is never long enough. I just feel like I need some extra time, you know, if I want to complete everything, all the tasks, and keep the balance. It's just really, really hard.
Yeah, you feel like there's never enough time in the day. Yeah, I do get that. But just starting small, you know, not overwhelming yourself too much, because if you do that, like you say, you're going to burn out. Do what you can, schedule out your week. Where's your free time? Is it 20 minutes? Great, 20 minutes is better than nothing. Can it be a home workout? Can you invest in some, you know, equipment for home? Because that will be maybe saving you time traveling to and from the gym if you haven't got enough time to do that. Home workouts can just be as effective as gym workouts. And yeah, like I said, just starting small and then building the habits up slowly from there. You can definitely focus on your nutrition as well. You don't need much time to be focusing on that, but you've got to be organised, I guess, you know, like I say, planning out your diary, planning out your meals, making sure that they're high in protein, all that jazz. So yeah, that's what I would recommend. Start small. Never ever just say go 0 to 100. That's the worst thing.
I also really liked when you are saying that the workouts which you can do at home, they are as effective as gym workouts. I know the lifting weights, probably you can't compare it, but I think it's very important that you are mentioning this now.
You know, there's plenty of YouTube videos, like 20-minute fat burning, you know, routine or whatever. And I think if you really want to make it work, you will. 20 minutes, like most people spend 20 minutes scrolling. So, you know, 20 minutes of a few burpees or whatever, you know.
Better than nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Shall we talk a little bit about anxiety, gym anxiety specifically? Because again, I've been there myself. So a couple of years ago, I had a personal trainer at the gym. It wasn't online. Just because I felt like I wouldn't know what to do if I go to the gym. I am very much into details, if it's a work, if it's a exercise. So until I am not feeling confident that I am really working on the particular right muscles, I will just not be confident. So on the days I was with my personal trainer, it was everything fine because obviously we were together. I was guided by him. But even doing working out for a while already, when I was going to the gym on days when I was not with him, because I was like working out 3-4 times a week. Still, after a couple of months, I was not confident enough to be going to weight-free area. So how could you advise people, women specifically, like how to get rid of this anxiety, gym anxiety?
Well, obviously you reached out for guidance. That's definitely one option. Obviously, I know you mentioned you still felt a little bit anxious, but my motto is get comfortable being uncomfortable, because I know it's a bit harsh saying that, but it really does work. You've got to push yourself. You're doing it for you. So you've got to, at some point, get into that free weights area, because you know it's going to help you do them hip thrusts to grow your glutes. And we can't be doing that with a dumbbell anymore or whatever. But don't be worried about men, you know, looking and whatever, judging, because at the end of the day, they're not. They're just worried about how heavy the weight is that they're picking up. Like us women, we like to focus on our form a lot more, and yeah, they're really not judging at all. It is good just to practice your form at home as well if you're a little bit unsure. So that's what I used to do when I was first starting out. I'd practice my form to make sure that I wasn't doing anything extravagant in the gym. But yeah, definitely practicing the form and just get them headphones on, stick in your own lane, and don't be worrying about anyone else. Because the more you do it, the easier it gets as well.
Yeah, definitely music helps as well, because then it just takes you in this, you know, your own zone.
Yeah, exactly.
But also, I'm happy you are mentioning that after a while, you just don't care about what's happening around you. You just, because when you pass the stage, as you say, being uncomfortable, it just nothing matters, yes? And the confidence obviously will come with the time. And people now, I know when I go to the gym, when I even look around, people don't care as well.
Yeah,
you know, people just do their things. But I also agree with the fact what you were saying about women, particularly, that we are more focused on the technique and what we exactly doing, instead of just like, you know, throwing.
Exactly. The men just want to pick up the heaviest weight and throw it about. They've probably got I know for a fact, I see it all the time, they've got worse technique than us females because we're more bothered about the form.
Yeah.
Not obviously saying that every man has got really bad form, but that is generally the case in like commercial gyms as well.
Yep. Thank you, Amy, for clarifying everything here for us. What to do when we struggle to get our motivation back? So let's say we are going out somewhere, having few drinks, having some takeaways, and how can we get back on track? Again, I'm asking because I remember myself, I was going from one extreme to another. So it was very difficult for me to keep the balance. When I was on a mission to get fit, I was on a mission. One day like this could throw everything away. Now I know how to do it. So it's more about having this healthy lifestyle rather than just, you know, quick fix.
Exactly.
Which anyway, it wouldn't happen. But in general, like how can we get back on track after like a, let's say, one-off situation?
Yeah. Obviously on a weekend we like to relax a little bit. Maybe we like to go out, have a few drinks, or, you know, go out with your friends or have a date night. And it's important to do that because, like you say, it's got to be part of your lifestyle. You can't be constantly restricting. And the way about getting back on track, if you're not looking forward to going to the gym and doing your workout, again, just do something that you're going to enjoy then. If it means that you still will get to the gym and do something, rather than doing the workout that you had planned and you were going to sack it off, do something that you'd enjoy. It doesn't have to be this rigid, you know, plan, unless you're doing bodybuilding, I guess, maybe so. But don't let your brain talk you out of it, because your brain is very good at doing that. As soon as you hear that voice in your head where it's like, do you really want to go? Just get yourself out the door and go. Yeah, don't even let yourself like overthink it, because that's when you will be sat at home scrolling, watching, I don't know, something on the TV.
And time is flying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you'll look back and think, all those workouts that I missed, I could have been in this shape but I feel like, crap this summer because I missed all them workouts when I didn't get back on track. Because one day that you miss, it might turn into 2, or well, it probably will turn into 2, 3, 4, and then you're back at square one. So it is just really nipping it in the bud and getting back on track. Don't let that voice talk you out of doing it.
Just move your body.
Yeah, literally.
Amy, what unique challenges come with coaching clients online versus in person?
Yeah.
Because you've done both, you said.
Yeah.
And you're still doing both.
Yeah. So with face-to-face, one of the challenges can be that the client tends to rely on you for them to do the session. Yeah. So, and I'm not going to be there forever. Like, I'm not that coach that will be, wanting them to rely on me and wanting them to pay me every month. Like, I want you to be confident enough to go and do your own thing. So yeah, it's just trying to reinforce that and try slowly reduce the amount of time that we have together to kind of get them into their own routine and be independent with it and be accountable themselves, because I can't be holding them accountable forever. So that's probably one of the challenges with face-to-face. And with online, sometimes there is a bit of a stigma attached to it because people think that online isn't as good as face-to-face because you don't have the form correction there and then. But I would definitely say with online, you are held way more accountable because we look at your nutrition in depth, we look at your training in depth. Whereas with face-to-face, we have the session and then I won't see you till the next week. I will check in on you, but it's not as in depth as online because obviously I'm not seeing them in person. So those are the challenges that I face with face-to-face.
Thank you. Talking about helping clients to stay accountable and motivated, how do you help either people who you are working with online or in a person to stay accountable and motivated, and especially when the progress slows a bit, because this is part of the whole, I think, yes, at some point it will slow down.
Yeah, it definitely does. At first you'll see really big changes and then it does tend to slow down. So it's just about making the plan enjoyable for the client, because again, it's got to be part of the lifestyle. If it's not, they're not gonna, continue with it. We share like weekly wins in this group chat that we've got on WhatsApp, so that's really nice. Everyone gets to know each other and realizes that we're all in the same boat. We've all got similar issues, we're all thinking the same thing. So it's good to share weekly wins in the group chat, and then holding people accountable via check-ins online. So every week I will check in with all my online clients and do a pre-recorded video going through what we've done well, maybe what we need to work on next week and things like that. So they've got a little goal each week to keep striving for, again, to make it enjoyable and to make sure that they keep seeing results week in, week out. Yeah, and then just daily habits as well. So making sure we are prioritising not just the workouts and the nutrition, but also the sleep, and just making sure that our mindset is all good as well. So what do we enjoy to relax and de-stress, because that's really important as well for training.
Yeah, that's very true. I know this one is going to be quite individual for every person because of many different factors, but I just would like to know how much, let's use you as an example, how much your body needs proteins, carbs, fat during the day, and also how much these beautiful glutes need proteins, carbs and fat during the day.
So for me specifically, I have about 160 to 170 grams of protein. And then at the moment I'm having around 200 to 220 grams of carbs, and then fats wise I'm having about 60 grams. And that's because right now I'm in a maintenance phase, so I'm just maintaining my body weight. I will be going into a calorie deficit, so those numbers will change, and they don't always stay the same. But for me, I do have quite a high protein intake. It might seem quite high to other people, but that's because I've got quite a lot of muscle. I've built up quite a lot of muscle over the years, and that requires a lot of energy to maintain, so I need to eat quite a fair bit to maintain what I've got. So yeah, that's what I have at the moment. And yeah, the protein's really important for building the glutes, and also the carbs as well. The carbs are the energy to help fuel the recovery and fuel the growth.
I was trying to cut down carbs at some point, but when you are going to the gym and when you are really going like consistently, it's not possible to get rid of that, because then you just feel so like no energy at all.
Yeah.
I just felt like a monster. I could eat so much more than normally. Even like, you know, I'm talking about days you are working out and days you are not working out, yes? So yes, carbs are very important as well to keep the energy
Definitely.
levels up. Super quick and super high protein meals. I always, whoever I see working out, I always ask, because I am so like bored of eating chicken. I mean, like, I know it's amazing source of proteins, but at least, you know, I'm always asking, how do you season it? What seasoning exactly are you using? Because it changes everything. Yes, the taste is so important, especially like when you are eating constantly the same things, like, you know, eggs, you know, obviously eggs, it's only salt and pepper. But when it comes to chicken, maybe you have some like nice recipes you can share here with me. I'm gonna make it tomorrow.
I like to do like a chicken tikka with rice, and that's really nice. It's so easy because I probably, like a lot of other people, I really can't be bothered doing meal prep, but I know it has to be done, so I will do something that's so quick, so easy. So yeah, the chicken tikka, so all I do is have either chicken thighs or chicken breast, get some tikka masala paste, mix it with a bit of plain yogurt or Greek yogurt, doesn't really matter, and then some mayonnaise, literally mix it all together, shove it in the oven, and then it's done. Cook some rice, and then yeah, it's so easy, that one. A spag bol as well, spaghetti bolognese, I love that. I just made that earlier for my meal preps this week. I literally just shoved it all in the oven because, again, I can't be bothered like cutting everything up, preparing everything. I just whack it in the pan and it's done. So that's really easy and high in protein. Chicken sausages as well are quite good. Don't know if you've had them before.
No, where'd you get them from?
Just from Lidl. I think Aldi do them. I think a lot of places do them, to be fair. Yeah, so those are quite high in protein. They are a little bit more on the processed side, but yeah, those are really good for having in a bagel, or, you know, having with some eggs. Yeah, they're really good. And obviously I do love a stir fry as well. Stir fries are really easy and quick, literally 10 minutes in the pan. Whatever meat you want, chicken, mince, yeah, they're really, really healthy as well.
Actually, I haven't tried it with minced beef. Is it nice?
Yeah.
I was always doing chicken or prawns.
Yeah, prawns as well, but mince is a bit cheaper as well than like chicken breast or prawns, because obviously, again, that can be a bit of an issue with the price of things going up. So I do like to buy minced meat because that's a lot cheaper than.
What is your take on popular diet trends like, I need to read that because I'm not sure about pronouncing, intermittent fasting and keto for fat loss?
It's kind of a difficult one, because if it works for someone, it works for them. But in reality, the general public nowadays, they can't maintain a keto diet, because that means you're really restricting on the carbs. And if you see it as a diet as well, like, oh, I'm going to do the keto diet for 6 to 12 weeks or whatever, yeah, you'll lose weight. But as soon as you stop doing that and go back to eating carbs, your body's just going to put all that weight back on. So it has to be part of your lifestyle. You have to maintain it.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So, like I said, if it works for them and they can maintain it, then great. But if you know that you do like the carbs, then I wouldn't do a keto diet.
At some point of my life, I felt like I don't really need carbs, because with certain carbs, when I have them, I feel really bloated.
Yeah.
But then again, when I was having very intense workouts at the gym, I just can't imagine not having them, because otherwise I would just crash. My body would just crash. What carbs are you having?
Quite good carbs are like sweet potato. Those have a lot of micronutrients in as well. like brown rice, a lot of wholemeal stuff. What's the other bread called? Sourdough bread. That's quite good because your body takes a while to digest it. It makes you feel fuller for longer. And whereas these, you know, white rice, white bread, those are broken down quite quickly, and then that's why you get the crash afterwards, because they're not broken down slowly and not released into your body slowly. So that's why you'll get the crashes and things. So yeah, those are some good carbs to include into your diet. More wholemeal.
I've mentioned to you when you came here that I am doing my 21 days sugar-free challenge. Did I mention or did I not mention? Did I mention? Maybe I didn't.
I think you mentioned it over message, yeah.
So I was really disappointed with myself because recently I felt like I was allowing myself definitely to have much more than, you know, my allowance is.
Yeah.
Also, people around me, so my friends, members of family, they started doing the challenge, and I could really see they were losing weight. That was the first thing I noticed, like really drastically.
Yeah.
After 40 days of challenge, for example, I could really see that they were losing. And also the skin looked much better. So I'm like, okay, it's time for me. I involved my partner. I only lasted 2 days. He managed, he's still managing.
Yeah.
But then when I found the reason, you know, to have a sweet, I just gave up. Then I texted my friends. She said, okay, I'm gonna join you. So thanks her, I am on this challenge. I'm gonna ask on social media if there are any other people who would like to join me. So I just posted on story, and I've got 12 people.
Okay.
I created a WhatsApp group.
Nice.
And you know, I'm not craving sweets, but look, that's the mind.
Yeah.
I am sure, because I am just thinking, how can I let these people, how can I let them down? You know, I've created the group, and seriously, that really helps. But the reason I'm asking about, the reason I'm talking about the challenge is because I would like to ask you what alternatives for these bad sugars you have. Like, are you allowing yourself to have sometimes, you know, sweets? Probably it's like more like a cheat meal in your case. But if not, so we do need sugar as well in our diet. So which ones are you choosing?
I would recommend maybe going for like honey as an alternative for your sugars, agave nectar as well. Quite pure honey, that's what you want, again, because obviously you can get honey that's quite processed. You can get unsweetened yogurt, have that with fruits. Those are obviously a lot better than your Haribos and things like that, because obviously that's what most people would crave, not the strawberries or apples or bananas.
Oh, I'm so sorry, blueberries now, strawberries in my case.
Yeah.
Very easy replacement as well. Yes. Amazing.
And do you know what it is? It's with you trying to cut it out, it's because it's so addictive. Sugar is literally the most addictive things. That's why, you know, the general population nowadays is getting more overweight, because these fast food restaurants and the you know, ready meals, they're all processed, they're all designed to be addictive, and they're full of sugar. And because it's full of all those ingredients, we do, you know, end up eating more and more. So it is hard to kind of cut out sugar. It really is, definitely. But those are some options that are quite good.
And I can definitely see in my children how sugar is addictive. I mean, of course, we do struggle as adults as well, but I think in kids you can even see more, and how they change after having sugar. They are like on drugs. They are.
To peel them off the wall.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, so when I prepare myself for the podcast, I always like, you know, scroll down the social media profiles, websites, or wherever I can find some information about guests. And I really loved one reel where you were talking about cellulite.
Oh yeah.
Can you tell us what was in the reel and what was the message?
Yeah, so I was working out and I was taking a form video, And I looked back at the form video and I was like, oh God, you can see a lot of cellulite there. I didn't even realise I had that much, to be honest.
So you didn't have the intention of doing it, you just, okay, that's even more amazing.
Literally, yeah. And I saw it and I was like, do you know what? I'm not bothered about it, but I know a lot of people are. So that's why I thought I'm gonna make a little reel out of it and just show people that, you know, you've just got to embrace it. It's so natural. You can't get rid of cellulite, which again, a lot of people ask me to try get rid of it for them, and I'm just like, it's never going to go away. Unfortunately, we are females, but it's just about embracing it. It's just part of our natural body. Like, it's always going to be there, and we can still have, you know, this amazing figure. You know, I've got nice glutes, and I still have it. You know what I mean? I'm a fitness coach, and I still have the cellulite. So yeah, you can't be perfect. Again, it's what you see on Instagram. You don't see people's cellulite, because they've all smoothed it out with filters and things like that. But it's me trying to show you that this is reality. This is what the female body looks like.
I absolutely love this holistic approach. Yeah, I think these days is just so much needed to find the right person. If it's working in a personal trainer or online, it's really, really hard. Yes, it is really hard. Our energy and emotions fluctuate during our monthly circle. I also saw something on your social media and I really liked it. Can you tell us a bit more about this reel?
Yeah. So it's just basically to, again, show women that we need to kind of be in touch with our cycle, because these are the reasons why maybe some weeks we're craving a little bit more sugar, or some weeks we're feeling a little bit weaker in the gym, we're feeling a bit more emotional. So again, it's just to show the importance of tracking it, because then you can put your mind at rest and be like, okay, this is why I'm feeling this way. It's because I'm in my luteal phase or follicular phase. But yeah, definitely in the ovulation phase for me, I really do crave a lot of food, and it's hard to like try and fight against it, especially if you're in a calorie deficit. But you've just got to be aware it is your hormones. It's not actually, maybe you actually are needing food. It's just the hormones telling you that, you know, your body's preparing for a potential pregnancy, so you need to stock up on the calories. And then yeah, on my period, I don't really tend to have a high appetite, but just before, those few days before, I'm an emotional wreck. And yeah, I just want to eat a lot of chocolate. But again, there's ways around it. So it's dark chocolate instead of, you know, the milk chocolate, because obviously dark chocolate's a bit healthier. Mixing it in with a bit of yogurt and fruit to keep you fuller for longer. There is ways around it as well. So yeah, and then those times when I'm feeling a bit demotivated because I'm on my period, I'm in a lot of pain, I might do a little bit lighter on my sessions, or I might just do an exercise that I enjoy. So like literally the other day, I had an upper body session and I really couldn't be bothered doing it because I was just, you know, feeling demotivated. I'm on my period, etc. And I just thought, I'm just going to do a workout that I enjoy. So it's better than nothing, and I still got a good workout in, and I enjoyed it, and I went. So that's how you make the progress while you're going through the monthly cycle.
The motivation. Motivation.
Exactly.
Fitness and nutrition myths. Are they any?
Yes, there is plenty fitness myths. Yeah, starting from Monday can definitely be one, because you know, you if you wait until Monday, you might be waiting until the Monday after.
I can confirm.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a myth.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Another one, I would say, a lot of females think that lifting weights makes you bulky.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they're like, oh, I don't want to do too much upper body because I might get too broad on my shoulders. No, that's a lie. If you're eating too much, if you're in a calorie surplus, then yeah, you will get a bit bulky. But if you're not in a calorie surplus, you're not going to get bulky on the upper body. So yeah, that's a complete myth.
Still, probably it would take you years.
Yeah.
I remember when I was talking with my personal trainer, and I was just saying, no, I don't actually mind. You know, I would like to get, you know, bigger. and he was making me aware that it may take a lot of
Exactly.
time,
Yeah.
especially because I was new to
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
lifting weights.
Yeah, it's all down to the nutrition. Another one I think I mentioned earlier about the hip dips. You know, you can't get rid of hip dips. That's just how we are biomechanically structured. We can't get rid of them. You can try create the illusion that you don't have them by, you know, growing your glutes, etc. But you know, you just can't get rid of them unless you're doing some injections, and I obviously don't agree with all that sort of stuff. It's quite dangerous around that area. Eating lots of fats makes you fat is what a lot of people think, and what makes you gain a lot of fat is more the carbs, because carbs are broken down into sugar, and if they're not used as an energy source, then they will be stored as fat. Fats, good fats obviously, that helps you burn body fat, because fat is an energy source, and you want to use that to help get rid of your body fat.
Examples like avocado?
Examples are like avocado, oily fish, olive oil, nuts, things like that. So if you actually do incorporate a lot of that into your diet, it will help you you know, reduce your body fat percentage.
What about more protein equals more muscles?
Yeah, I would say that's a myth, because if you're eating too much protein, it can start to affect your kidneys, and you know, it's just excreted out anyway. If you eat too much, your body will just get rid of it. Your body will only take on what it needs.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes, I heard that as well. Mm-hmm.
So if you do have more muscle, yeah, you will have to eat more protein, but if you don't have that much muscle at the moment, then you won't need to eat, you know, 200 grams, because your body will just get rid of it.
For someone listening now to this podcast, Amy, and who is on the fence about starting, what would you tell them from your previous experience working with a client? Was there anything you can tell them that changed your client's life when they started working out?
There's definitely quite a few things that spring to mind with that. It's confidence. Like I mentioned, that's a lot of women's struggles, their confidence in and out of the gym. And a lot of my clients, you know, they notice a change in their confidence because they're wearing clothes what they want to wear, they're not covering up anymore, you know, they're feeling confident in the bikinis on the beach. And also a big one is being like a better partner as well, because a lot of my clients obviously have families or are in relationships, and they say that their partner mentions how they look and they're just giving off a better energy, and they're not a moody so-and-so because they're not down about the physique. They're not having a meltdown about what they're wearing on the date night because they don't feel comfortable. They're actually enjoying life, and that's all what it's about, because you don't want to look back in, you know, 10, 20, 30 odd years and realise that you could have made that change a lot sooner and be happier. That's the main thing, isn't it?
Yes, I definitely agree with that. And when I was doing a little introduction to this podcast before you came, I was saying that being physically active completely changed my life. And for the past, I think 2 weeks, I wasn't very consistently going to the gym. And I can see again big difference, and I love speaking about this, and I am actually like embracing even the time that I am not going to the gym, because I can see how big impact it has got on my life when I actually stay consistent.
Yeah.
You have less problems. Even if there are any problems, that they're not gonna disappear. You look at them completely different. You are calmer parent as you partner and parent, as you were saying. Yes, you are just using your energy wiser.
Yeah, and it's just better for your mental health as well, because like I said, you know, there's a lot of things going on right now. Like everyone's so busy, and it's good. It's really good for your mental health. I honestly can't stress that enough. Yeah.
I think this is also the thing why I wanted you to come here, Of course, being physically active is very important, yes, but the mental health part, it's, I think, the top, because it's not anymore. I think we need to realize that it's not about us looking, amazing after working out, looking great, which is, of course, this is going to happen as well if you are consistent, but it's more about the mental health.
Definitely, yeah. It's really key not to focus on just the aesthetics, because if you do just focus on the aesthetic side of things, you'll end up giving up after a few months. There has to be a real deep meaning behind why you're doing it, not just to get a big bum. It has to be other reasons as well, because those clients that do just have the aesthetic goals, they end up, giving up and not getting even what they wanted. So yeah, it's really good for the mental health.
Do you think there is enough awareness in general about the fact that the fitness, being physically active, it actually changes people's life? We're talking about the mental side. Do you think there is enough awareness? Because I feel like there is not.
No.
When I was starting going to the gym, I remember I was just going there constantly, 3-4 times a week. And every time I was there, I'm like, I don't really think people know how this is actually going to improve your life. I don't think people know enough.
No.
I know there is lots of things, on social media, but I feel like the focus is on this aesthetic part rather than the mental.
Yeah, definitely.
Side,
yeah, there's definitely not enough awareness around it. But if more people did it, then they would obviously realise that it does have an impact on your mental health. You just have a clearer mind. It's just, I can't stress it enough. Definitely.
Beyond exercise and nutrition, what lifestyle factors do you find most important for sustainable results?
Yeah. Definitely sleep. A lot of people really neglect this. Some of my clients have told me in the past, they're staying up working, doing overtime till God knows what time, and then they're up in the gym at 6-7 o'clock meeting me. And I'm like, I don't know how you function. I really do not know how you do it. But yeah, sleep is so important because it helps with your muscle recovery, which then in turn helps with how much you can lift in the gym. And it just helps with your cortisol levels, so reducing stress and anxiety, and also reduces your cravings, because when you don't focus on your sleep and you're running on 3-4 hours, you actually crave sugar. So yeah, it's obviously good for the nutrition.
Can I ask, do you think, just about what you said right now, about lack of sleep and then craving more sugar? Because I previously heard that if you don't get enough sleep, you are not able to lose weight. Is this the reason? Because then you crave more, or in general, not enough sleep will slow down the fat loss?
Yeah, so it's the things that have a knock-on effect after not sleeping too much that causes you not to be able to maybe lose weight as much. So like I said about you craving more, so then you're probably eating more, which means you're not in that calorie deficit, which means you're not going to lose weight. That's what I think what they mean by that.
Okay.
Yeah. And also self-care, that's really important, because going to the gym, 3-4 times a week, you are putting your body under a lot of stress, and so you've got to kind of look after yourself as well. Do a face mask on an evening, run yourself a hot bath, look after yourself as well. Yeah, that's really important. Hydration as well. A lot of people don't drink enough water. I know it sounds so boring, but it really it really is important, because it improves your cognitive functions. So your brain functions better and your concentration is a lot better, so it helps for your work as well. And obviously your workouts, you need to be hydrated, because if you're dehydrated, you're not able to push as much in the gym. And also a lot of people, when they're stepping on the scales and they see the scales go up, I ask them, is it, and they're doing everything right. I say, well, have you drank much water recently? Or no, well, that's because you're dehydrated. So if you're dehydrated, the scales might go up because you're holding on to a lot of water retention.
I think that's all.
Good.
We've covered everything what we planned to cover.
Good, good.
As I said, like we could talk probably,
Yeah.
we definitely can do another one and cover more things because
Yeah.
there is so much, which I'm hoping you will be happy to do.
Oh yeah,
at some-
definitely,
at some
definitely.
point. Thank you so
Mhm.
much for joining us
Thank
today.
you. Thank you for inviting.
I hope you enjoyed listening. And Amy, how people can actually find you? Can you just tell us?
Yeah, so I have Instagram, which I'm most present on. So it's Aimeé Easton Fit on Instagram, and then
I
on
will link it.
Thank you. And then on TikTok as well, Aimeé Easton Fit. Don't really post much on there, but I need to kind of get a little bit more regular on posting on there. But yeah, definitely Instagram.
And for anyone who would be interested in working with you, are you taking clients at the moment online only
Yeah.
or both in a person?
Yeah, online at the moment, face to face, pretty full. So online at the moment, yeah, that's the way forward.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys, for listening.